I want to talk about something that doesn't get said enough. Something that happens every single day to women who deserved better. Women who gave everything. Women who loved completely and purely and without reservation. Women who showed up with their whole heart and received carelessness in return. I want to talk about what happens when a man hurts a good woman. And I want every person listening to truly understand the weight of that. Not just the surface of it, not just the visible pain of tears and sleepless nights and unanswered messages, but the deep, invisible, soul-level damage that happens when a woman who loved genuinely is treated like she didn't matter. Because a good woman is not easy to find, and the men who have one and don't realize it, the men who take her for granted, who lie to her, who betray her trust, who make her feel small, who treat her love like it is ordinary when it is anything but, those men are making the most expensive mistake of their lives, and most of them don't realize it until she is gone. Let me tell you about a good woman, not a perfect woman, because perfect women don't exist, and that is not what I am describing. I am describing something rarer than perfection, something more valuable than anything money can buy. A good woman is someone who loves you on your worst days, who stays when leaving would be easier, who believes in you when you have stopped believing in yourself, who builds you up quietly and consistently without needing credit for it, who forgives more than she should sometimes, who gives more than she receives and rarely complains about the imbalance, who shows up fully in a world that has taught her through experience that showing up fully often leads to getting hurt. And she shows up anyway, because that is who she is, because her love is not conditional on receiving the same in return, because she genuinely, deeply, completely cares about the person she has chosen to love. That is a good woman. And when a man hurts that woman, when he takes that love and treats it carelessly, when he lies to her face while she is giving him her trust, when he makes her feel like she is too much or not enough, or both at the same time, when he replaces her warmth with coldness and her loyalty with betrayal, something happens that he does not fully understand in the moment. He breaks something inside her that will never break the same way again. Not because she is weak. She is not weak. A good woman is one of the strongest human beings you will ever encounter. She has survived things that would destroy most people. She has carried weight that was never hers to carry. She has rebuilt herself from damage that others caused, and she has done it quietly and without asking for applause. She is not weak, but she is human, and humans have a breaking point. And when a good woman reaches hers, when she has given everything she has and received pain in return one too many times, something shifts. Not loudly, not dramatically, not always in a way the man who hurt her even notices at first, but something shifts. The warmth she had for him begins to cool, not because she wanted it to, not because she chose to stop caring in some moment of anger, but because self-preservation is built into every human soul, because at some point, continuing to love someone who hurts you stops being love and starts being self-destruction. And even the most loving woman eventually reaches the point where she has to choose herself. And when she makes that choice, when she finally, quietly, completely decides that she deserves better than what she has been receiving, the man who hurt her will feel a loss so profound it will shake him to his foundation. Because here is the truth about a good woman that men who take them for granted never understand until it is too late. You never truly know what you had until she stops trying to show you. While she was there, she was invisible in the way that essential things are invisible, the way air is invisible. You don't think about air until you can't breathe. You don't think about water until you're dying of thirst. You don't think about the warmth of a fire until you're standing in the cold. A good woman is like that. She is the warmth and the air and the water that a man takes for granted every single day until the day she is gone. And then suddenly, in her absence, he can feel every single thing she was, and every single thing she did, and every single way her presence made his life better. And the silence she leaves behind is deafening. I want to speak to the women who are listening to this right now, the ones who are in the middle of this pain, the ones who loved genuinely and were hurt deeply, the ones who are questioning themselves, wondering what they did wrong, wondering if they were too much or not enough, wondering if maybe they should have loved differently, given less, expected less, asked for less. I need you to hear this. You did nothing wrong by loving fully. You did nothing wrong by giving everything. You did nothing wrong by trusting someone you believed deserved your trust. The fault is not in how you loved. The fault is in who you chose to give that love to. And that is not a permanent mistake. That is a human one, the most human one there is. Because love makes us believe in people. Love makes us see potential where others see patterns. Love makes us stay when wisdom might say leave. And none of that makes you foolish. It makes you human. It makes you someone capable of a depth of feeling that the person who hurt you clearly was not capable of matching. Do not let his inability to love you properly convince you that you are unlovable. Do not let his carelessness with your heart convince you that your heart is not worth caring for. Do not let the fact that he could not see your value convince you that you have no value. His blindness is not your truth. You are not too much. You have never been too much. You were simply too much for someone who was not enough, and that distinction matters more than you know. The right person, the person who actually deserves what you have to give, will not find you too much. They will find you like water in a desert, like light in a dark room, like everything they have been looking for in every wrong place until they finally found it in you. But you have to heal first. You have to stop pouring yourself into someone who has a hole in their soul that your love will never fill, no matter how much of yourself you sacrifice. You have to recognize that walking away from someone who hurts you is not giving up on love. It is protecting your capacity to love someone who will actually receive it the way it deserves to be received. Your love is not the problem. It has never been the problem. The problem was the vessel you poured it into. Now I want to speak to the men, the ones who have hurt a good woman, the ones who are in the middle of it right now, making choices that are causing damage they don't yet fully understand, and the ones who have already lost her and are only now beginning to feel the full weight of what they let go. To the man who is hurting a good woman right now, stop. Not for her sake only, for yours. Because what you are doing is not just damaging her, it is damaging you. It is making you into someone smaller than you are capable of being. It is proving to yourself that you are a man who cannot be trusted, a man who takes goodness for granted, a man who responds to genuine love with carelessness or cruelty or indifference. And that is not who you want to be, even if you don't fully know that yet. A good woman in your life is not an obstacle. She is not a burden. She is not someone to be managed or manipulated or taken for granted. She is a gift, a rare, irreplaceable, extraordinary gift that most men spend their entire lives hoping to receive. And you have it, right now, and you are wasting it. Wake up before she does. Because the moment she wakes up, the moment she truly sees that she has been giving her best to someone who cannot appreciate it, she will leave. Not in anger, not dramatically. She will simply stop. She will gather the pieces of herself that she has been leaving with you, and she will walk away with a quiet dignity that will haunt you. And you will spend a very long time understanding what you had only after it is gone. To the man who has already lost her, the one who hurt a good woman and watched her walk away and is only now realizing the full magnitude of what he let go, I want to say this. The pain you are feeling right now is real. The regret is real. The emptiness that her absence has created is real, and I am not going to minimize it. Loss is loss. Pain is pain, and the loss of a good woman is one of the most significant losses a man can experience. But I need you to sit with that pain instead of running from it, because that pain is trying to teach you something. It is showing you the gap between who you were and who you needed to be. It is showing you what carelessness costs. It is showing you that love is something you can take for granted and expect to keep. Do not waste the lesson. Do not let the loss be only loss. Let it transform you. Let it make you into the kind of man who would never treat another good woman the way you treated her. Let it build in you the appreciation, the care, the intentionality that you failed to give when you had the chance. Because the worst thing that could happen is not that you lost her. The worst thing that could happen is that you lost her and learned nothing, that you went on to find another good woman and repeated the same patterns and caused the same damage and wasted the same rare gift. Let the loss change you, really change you, at the level where it matters, at the level of who you are, not just what you do. And to the good woman who is on the other side of this, who has done the hard thing, who has chosen herself, who has walked away from someone who could not love her the way she deserved to be loved, I want you to know something. What you did took more strength than most people will ever understand. Leaving something you loved, even something that was hurting you, is one of the hardest things a human being can do. And you did it. You chose yourself when staying would have been easier. You chose your future when your past was pulling you back. That is not weakness. That is the highest form of self-respect. And now comes the work, not the work of finding someone new, not the work of proving anything to anyone, the work of healing, the quiet, patient, necessary work of becoming whole again on your own terms, of rediscovering who you are without defining yourself through his perception of you, of rebuilding the walls he broke down, not to keep love out, but to make sure the next love that enters is worthy of the space it occupies. You are allowed to grieve. Grieve fully and without apology. You lost something real. The love was real, even if it was not reciprocated the way it deserved to be. The hope was real. The investment was real. Grieve all of it. And then, when you are ready, not when someone else thinks you should be ready, but when you actually are, open again, not blindly, not desperately, not because you need someone to make you feel whole, but because you are already whole. And wholeness shared with someone worthy is one of the most beautiful things in human experience. You deserve that. You have always deserved that. Do not let one man's inability to see your worth convince you that worth is not there. Do not let one painful chapter convince you that the whole story is tragedy. You are not a tragedy. You are a woman who loved deeply and survived the loss of that love and came out the other side knowing herself better, valuing herself more, and carrying a strength that only comes from walking through fire and choosing not to be consumed by it. That is not a broken woman. That is a becoming one. And the world needs women who know their worth, who know what they will accept and what they will not, who know that their love is a gift and not a given, who know that the right person will treasure what the wrong person wasted. You are that woman. Never forget it. And to everyone listening, man or woman, let this be the reminder you needed today. Love well, love intentionally, love with the understanding that the people who give you their genuine heart are giving you something irreplaceable. Treat that gift with the reverence it deserves, because hearts that have been broken enough times learn to stay closed, and a world with more closed hearts is poorer for it. Choose to be someone worthy of the love you receive every single day. That is all.